Welcome in, everybody, to That Wrestling Show here on Nesson.com. Liam, how you doing?
I am great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Morning's not my friend, but I'm doing all right. It seems like forever since we've been in studio.
We haven't been here in forever. It's great to be back.
You know what? WWE needs to do more pay-per-views so we can just keep coming in here.
We got to get back to the every other week schedule.
Yeah, because that was a lot of fun.
That was.
So we are talking WWE Royal Rumble. It is this Sunday in Philly.
It is.
You are going.
I am going to be there. If you're going to be in the Philadelphia area, 1 o'clock, we are going to be at Xfinity Live.
Is that a bar?
Yeah, it's a bar right outside the Wells Fargo Center.
Interesting name.
Yeah, I know. Head on over to New Age Insiders, at New Age Insiders on Twitter, and all of the information will be there.
Buy a t-shirt.
Yeah, this is our Royal Rumble exclusive t-shirt.
The man wearing the gimmick.
Yeah, you know, because cheap plug.
Yeah.
You know, you got to put yourself over in this
Absolutely.
business. You can head over to represent.com and pick up this
go.
t-shirt.
Cool.
Because it's great. Our WrestleMania shirt's up there too now.
Very cool, because you will be going to New Orleans.
Because we're also going to New Orleans. Look,
Which I think this show will talk a lot about.
If wrestling happens, the New Age Insiders are there.
Well done, sir. That's a tagline. Now let's get into the Royal Rumble. Usually we go like, you know, the big matches last in this, but I'm starting off hot. Okay, I'm going with the big 30-man Royal Rumble match over the top rope, and I'm just going to throw it out there right now.
Yep.
Daniel Bryan is going to win the Royal Rumble.
It is insane because we talked about this on New Age Insiders a couple weeks ago.
And I didn't listen. I've been waiting for this moment all week. Daniel Bryan, and I'm not the biggest Daniel Bryan fan.
Well, I'm sitting there and I'm talking to Ant DiStefano from The Rant with Ant, and we're having this conversation, and he goes, "Hey, did you know that Daniel Bryan's odds went through the roof, and now he is the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble?"
I don't even gamble, and I thought this.
Right, and I was just like, this is nonsensical.
I'm just following their TV show, and it makes complete and perfect sense.
And within a day, he went from having the same odds as NXT superstar Killian Dane to having the same odds as Shinsuke Nakamura and Roman
Who has
Reigns.
been the favorite for like the whole year.
Right.
The second Shinsuke came up, it was like he's going to win the Royal Rumble.
Right.
He's going to go on. We're going to get the AJ style Shinsuke Nakamura
Yeah.
blow off. But no, I'm absolutely confident that they have that like 3 people in the company have known that Daniel Bryan is cleared medically to work.
Yeah.
And they have been keeping a fantastic secret. The pop is going to blow the roof off the Philadelphia. What is it called now?
The Wells Fargo
The Wells
Center.
Fargo Center. And yes, I wholeheartedly believe. And I'm not. I was totally against the yes movement. I am totally against all this type of Daniel Bryan hype. But I completely believe Daniel Bryan is going to win the Royal Rumble, and possibly it might not happen. This is even a lesser thing. I would think it'd be great if he threw out Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But I believe it's going to come down to some kind of a combination of Daniel, Sammy, Kevin Owens, maybe Shane McMahon enters.
Well, I got thoughts. I got thoughts on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
I mean, it's definitely even if my bold prediction, but apparently it's not so bold because the odds makers are saying it.
Yeah.
Even if that doesn't come true, it has to be a SmackDown guy that wins.
It does.
Because
we don't need Roman Reigns to win this to
we know
fight
where we're
Brock.
going.
Right.
We know where we're going to WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. It's written in stone.
Right.
It's carved. It's contracts
Or,
are signed.
at the very least, if the plan was to deviate Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman, we also don't need a Royal Rumble victory to get there.
No, we absolutely do not.
So
it's not necessary because the story's already being told.
Right. Whoever challenges, I do actively want Braun Strowman to win the Royal Rumble. If it's not Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
But that's just because
you like Braun
I
Strowman, it'll be fun
love
to watch.
Braun Strowman.
Sure.
If you've watched this show at all, you would know that I love,
You love Braun Strowman. I understand that. And we'll get to Braun Strowman. I don't want to jump too far ahead.
Right.
Because we are talking about the 30-man over-the-top rope Royal Rumble match. And they got, 12 official competitors announced.
Right.
So that leaves a lot of wiggle room for a lot of people.
They're gonna be
Our boy Mojo still has a chance.
Yes, he does. Hashtag Mojo Mania.
Mojo Mania, baby, running wild.
You know, you look at it, it's going to be in Philadelphia, so I expect some ECW guys to pop in.
Do you?
Yeah, they're going to put like.
I mean, we're gonna get to Raw 25 later in the show, but do you?
Like Tommy Dreamer, you know what I mean? Like,
Check his schedule. I don't know. House of Hardcore might be running.
yeah, who knows?
You know, he
It'll
might be
live
banged
on
up a little
Twitch.
bit. But I don't know about that so much. I mean, I would love it.
Yeah.
I was a huge ECW fan. I would love that type
Yeah.
of thing. As far as complete surprises, a few jumped out at me. First off, I see EC3 showing up.
Yeah.
Ethan Carter III from TNA. What was his name? Do you remember when he was in NXT
I
for
don't.
like a cup of coffee?
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't.
well, I see EC3 showing up.
Yeah, with whatever name it is.
Possibly Bobby Lashley.
Yep, possibly Bobby Lashley. Another one is Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne was pulled from independent wrestling dates this weekend. So he's not announced for the NXT takeover on Saturday. So I don't think that it's for that. So I would assume he's going to be in the Royal Rumble.
We always get at least one, sometimes two NXT guys.
Yeah,
coming in.
Cassius Ohno is, he might be up on the main roster to stay, but they refuse to use him in NXT. Maybe the main roster is where he needs to
Do
be.
you think Cassius Ohno is going to be the guy?
I think Cassius Ohno is going to be the guy. I think that everybody else, McIntyre's hurt, so he's not going to be.
He would have
the
been a
guy.
shoo-in.
He would have been a shoo-in, and then Adam Cole is in a program, and he hasn't won the NXT title yet, so there's more for him to do.
But, I mean, showing up wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, he'd be an option to show up and get tossed out.
Right. Well, there's also
Wouldn't hurt him that much.
There is also that precedent of people that come up from NXT show up, so you're like, oh, who's this guy? And then go check out NXT, where Rusev was one of those guys.
I had no idea when he first showed up.
Yeah.
Alexander Rusev.
Yeah.
I literally wrote, who is this Russian?
Yeah, nobody knew who he was, and so he came in, he got eliminated, and then it was some 6 months before he debuted on the actual main roster. So
another one that's been kind of teetering around. I don't know. I see him maybe showing up back in NXT, but possibly in the Rumble. James Storm.
Yeah, maybe.
He's another one. I'm trying to think names, and especially people that have or are leaving TNA.
Right.
Because they have completely loosened up their purse strings. They're even giving back the broken gimmick. They're just like, whatever. We're tapping out.
Yeah,
we understand. We're cutting our losses.
Yeah, we don't want to be a company anymore.
So who do you think? Who do you think's going to jump in? Not NXT related, but somebody that's like outside the company, but will take a one-off.
I say this every year because I want it to happen so badly.
Okay.
And that is Shane Hurricane Helms.
That'll be a good one.
I want the Hurricane so bad because I loved that gimmick. My favorite thing was watching him try to chokeslam people that are so much bigger than he is.
Because he was a superhero.
Because he was a superhero, so he was like, I have super strength. So he would try and chokeslam the Big Show.
It was almost like a superhero version of Crash Holly.
Yeah,
where he thought he was a super heavyweight.
Yeah, right. It's my favorite. It's my favorite thing. So every year, I hope that he's there.
See, he's to me, that's Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Every year, I'm like, Billy Gunn's winning. And it's not like, I saw him on Raw 25. Out of all the legends that showed up on Raw 25, Billy Gunn's the only one that looked like he could go.
Yeah, because he's the only one still actively
He's still
working.
wrestling.
He's still wrestling. He wrestled for Chaotic Wrestling like 3 months ago.
He was on a New Japan show, too. He's
yeah,
done a few of those
Yeah,
hits.
he's constantly in New Japan.
But he never shows up at the Royal Rumble.
No.
It's like, dude, just show up.
I want another guy that I would love, and it's also because I love this guy, is Johnny Mundo.
He'd be great.
He'd
be fantastic.
Have John Morrison show up.
I'm surprised after all the moves he's made in the independents and Lucha and TNA and all that stuff, he hasn't found his way back.
They want him back. He doesn't want to go back.
That's kind of what I was...
That was... that.
Because you had him on the show.
I've had him on the show. We've talked to him, and, we talked on the show, and then we talked off the air. And it's not... I'm not going to say I'm best friends with Johnny Mundo, but, basically that was basically what he said. He was just like, I'm having a ton of fun doing what I'm doing, being able to just...
So he's running the indies for all they can, and the door is always open.
And, yeah, they would... Okay. He could go back if he wanted to. And
so he's not Paul London.
Right. And so it's like, hey, maybe this is a one-off. They'll pay because, I don't think Billy Gunn and Triple H are on the best of terms, and he still showed up for Raw 25. So, I think...
I don't know. I always for your Hurricane Helms, I always have my thing for Billy Gunn.
Right.
Okay, so those are the special ones. Who's going to be like the standout guy? Who's going to be the marathon man of this one?
Because
if I see Daniel Bryan coming in and I see Daniel Bryan winning, as I started the show with, he's going to be in the last three. He's going to be 27 to 30.
Yeah. He won't be 30 because Rey Mysterio will be 30 again.
Actually, that'd be a good one.
And he will get booed again.
That'd be a great surprise.
See, this is the dangerous thing with Daniel Bryan, because
he has to win if he shows up.
Now it's out in the ether, right? The odds makers have made it a thing.
Odds makers on pro wrestling.
Yeah,
what a weird thing.
If somebody could explain to me why Vince McMahon's friends aren't all bajillionaires, because he could just give them what's happening and they could just make all of the right bets. Like, it's scripted. It's like the same people that bet on, like, The Walking Dead.
For all his entertainment silliness, Vince McMahon is the ultimate kayfaber.
Oh, yeah. It's insane.
He is the ultimate carny. He just won't let you know about it.
Right. But Daniel Bryan being in this Royal Rumble is not some weird, outlandish, like, crazy, like, Mojo Rawley is going to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
He did.
He did.
He did.
But that was still crazy. That was still crazy.
But we called it here on this show.
Right, we did.
So, I mean, Daniel Bryan is a lock.
Yeah, right. This show, lock.
Bet based on our predictions, because especially if you went with the last pay-per-view, we were terrible.
But if Rey Mysterio is 30 again,
I laugh
and
my
Daniel
ass off.
Bryan
I really would.
Daniel Bryan is not in this Royal Rumble, he will get booed.
Oh, well, I mean, that's
again.
a given. But I completely see him being in the last 3. Ray would be a great addition, too.
Ray would be a
I haven't
good
seen him in forever.
Yeah, I don't know what his contract situation is with Lucha Underground.
I think it seems to, at this day and age,
Yeah.
it seems like anyone's contract outside of WWE is flexible for
Except for Ring of Honor.
Bully Ray.
See, the thing is, he probably didn't sign an exclusive
He
deal.
did. I listened to the next day on Busted
Oh,
Open.
really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he was thanking them to the high heavens. He's like, "Thank you, Ring of Honor, for letting me do it." So,
Yeah.
so even they're
Okay.
playing ball.
Okay.
Even they're playing ball. Jericho wearing an Alpha shirt. We'll get there. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody's flexible with the especially
Yeah.
for one-offs. It's not like we're saying,
Right.
"Hey, come work a program."
Right, now
Hey,
you're
come
here.
in, get thrown out in 2 minutes.
Right.
Give a pop to the crowd. And it's good for that show too.
It is.
It's good for that show because most of them mention it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Okay. So again, who are we thinking is the Iron Man?
I think it's going to be Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has been a monster in all of these Royal Rumbles, and eventually you're going to
Broke
have
Kane's
to.
record.
He broke Kane's record, and so Kane, I still think, holds the all-time eliminations record.
No, he doesn't. It's Roman now.
Oh, Roman.
He
Roman
took that one.
So this would be the one where he gets the single because Kane still owns one. I think he owns 14 men in one Rumble. Is what his
I'm
record
pretty
is.
sure that's Roman now.
So then Roman has
I'm
both.
pretty sure they're just putting his name on everything.
So then it's good.
he's the longest running tag team champion of all time.
No, is he?
No.
I just thought he was in the New Day, maybe.
So you think it's see? I don't. Here's one thing. There's part of me that doesn't believe Roman Reigns is going to be in the Rumble. There's part of me that thinks there's going to be a rematch for the Intercontinental title with The Miz, and he's not going to. And some kind of shenanigans is going to happen where he doesn't win, but he's also not in the Rumble.
That would be insane.
I would love it. I think that would be them saying we're doing different stuff.
That would be. I mean,
We're going in a completely different. Because here's the thing. Above all else, we've realized you have to protect Roman.
Right.
Even in the Miz loss, which I thought was a great thing for Raw 25, you had to protect him. There was
Right.
so many shenanigans happening during that match.
Oh yeah.
But in a Royal Rumble, it's tough. I mean, it's easy but tough at the same time because he's still going to lose.
Right.
And it's hard for Roman Reigns to lose in this day and age.
It is, and the world has to come crashing down. And it has to hurt inside.
It really does. Shut up.
Hulk Hogan, everybody.
So I would love to see who would be the Iron Man in my eyes. It would have to be someone like I want to say like a Kevin Owens or a Sami Zayn.
See, again,
Or both of them. Show up
get
1 and
there.
2.
We'll get there.
I would love them. That's like the perfect 1-2.
Right. We'll get there.
Okay.
But
because they do have a match,
they have a match.
but
and
they could go on first and then show up 1 and 2
They could.
and run the whole thing.
I have thoughts on
Okay, we have
Kevin
thoughts
Owens
on
and
it.
Sami Zayn.
So I'm going with Daniel Bryan winning. You're going with.
I am going to go with, it's a safe bet, but I think that it's going to be Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay, but definitely a SmackDown guy.
Yeah.
Definitely a SmackDown guy because we don't need the Brock story.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the 30 women over the top rope Royal Rumble, which I am so excited for.
I am extremely excited for this event. As a ticket holder to the Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
this is
why you bought your ticket.
I bought the ticket before this was a thing, but yeah, this is a reason to buy the ticket to the show. Equality. You can't tell me that we're equal. You have to show me that we're equal. And this is the last hurdle.
This generation of women wrestlers have really been proving that.
Right. And every single time that the women have been given a chance that the men have, they've proven that they can handle it, right? So the stigma of like, well, we can't give them a Hell in a Cell because it's too brutal for the women. That match was great.
It was awesome.
And so
Can't give them Money in Bank.
Yeah, can't give him Money in the Bank.
Great job.
The ladder matches, is going to be too dangerous and it's too nonsensical. It was great, except
Breaking
for
barriers and resetting bars.
right, except for when James
the ending
Ellsworth
is what it is.
won it.
Yeah.
But this women's battle Royal Rumble is going to be great, especially because we don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
You get a new, fresh set of firsts for this. Because it's never happened.
Never happened.
So I'm excited to see it. I mean, the big rumor is Ronda Rousey.
That's what I was
Ronda
gonna say,
Rousey is the big rumor. She is an inevitability at this point. I think that her coming and winning this Royal Rumble is part of the design of this Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
It gives her something big to achieve without having to take a belt off of either one of your champions who are great. Alexa Bliss right, but having Ronda Rousey show up to beat Charlotte or show up to beat Alexa is not a good idea because they're both great champions.
What I also like about if Ronda Rousey shows up, which that was going to be my pick.
Right.
It was going to be my pick. Ronda's going to show up. She's going to win. The nice thing about her winning this, my guess is it's going to work with Charlotte.
Right.
But what it prevents is 3 months of Ronda tearing through every woman and basically tearing apart everybody. Not making Nia Jax look weak, making Asuka look, just tearing apart everybody. All she has to do is focus on Charlotte.
Right.
It's 2 people working a program to WrestleMania.
Correct.
Easy peasy.
And there's enough ancillary players with the 4 horsewomen and Ronda Rousey's 4 badasses.
And it's not by accident that Shayna's starting to pick up steam in NXT.
Yeah, I think she's going to win the NXT title.
It's going to say the same
because
thing.
I think Ember Moon is going to be,
in the
Rumble. So
we're having the same brain here.
Right.
That's what's happening.
And it's exciting. It's very, very exciting. I think that you're going to have the ability to show you're going to be able to have such a splash at a debut with Ronda Rousey, and it's going to be such a great program going forward because, again, kind of like the Roman Reigns thing, I don't need a story to say why Asuka doesn't need the Royal Rumble to be like, oh, I'm clearly the #1 contender on Raw.
Which she showed on Monday night.
Yeah, I'm clearly the #1 contender on Raw. I don't need this Royal Rumble, so let's give it to Rousey to prove that she's a big deal. Show that we're a big deal.
Which is interesting because that means we get 2 potentially SmackDown winners coming out of the Rumbles.
And that's fine.
Which, I'm fine with because it tells a better story.
But it's also, you've done a better job on Raw telling stories that don't need the device of the Rumble to get to that main event.
Oh, absolutely. Again, though, we have a lot of holes to fill here.
Right.
There's 18. There was 19. Paige got injured. There's 18 women announced.
Right. Under WWE control, they have 22 main roster women.
Do they?
They do.
Okay, who am I missing?
I think that might have been, when I heard that number, Paige might have been...
She was 19.
Yeah, so, and then 20 and 21 would be Charlotte and...
Oh, the champions.
The champions, but
Okay,
they're not in
not
it. But they're not in it. So, yeah, I think you're looking at 19 active women on the main roster.
So we're going to see a lot of surprises. I was completely agreeing. Ember Moon's definitely going to be in it.
Yeah, Ember Moon's definitely going to be in it.
I am a huge Ember Moon fan.
I wouldn't be surprised. This might be more of a one-off, but Nikki Cross will probably be in
a good
this.
One.
And then I think we're looking at Legends. I think Trish is all but a lock.
I think the Bella Twins are definitely
the Bella Twins.
But Trish, and again, we're going to get to Raw in a little bit, but Trish needs to be in it.
Right.
It's one of those things, she needs to be in it.
You brought her back. You've shown her to the audience. She looks like she's in great shape. She could easily be in there. Yeah. You can easily have her be in here and not have it. Lita, it's weird that the Raw 25 thing happened.
The whole thing was weird with Lita, but maybe make up for it.
And then you have people like a Piper Niven who was in the Mae Young Classic.
Okay.
And so you have these...
Well, that's right. They got a whole litany of women.
You have a whole list of women, and then you have people like Candice LeRae who just signed in. And, Candice LeRae, she might be new to WWE, but she's not new to wrestling.
Sure.
And especially in a Philadelphia crowd, which is a far more wrestling...
A big pay-per-view in Philly. It's a very smart crowd.
Right. It's going to be a smart crowd. They're going to know who she is.
Right.
I'm going to cheer my head off if she shows up. You know what I mean? I'm going to be actively in that audience.
That is the nice thing about the way they've set up these 2 Royal Rumble matches is there's plenty of room for surprises.
Right.
Especially with the women because, like you said, there's not a lot of active main roster women. So we're going to have a lot of surprises guaranteed.
Right. And for both of these, because on the men's side of things, we've gone into these Royal Rumbles the past few years knowing Batista's going to win, knowing
that was another one. Batista, I feel, going back to the men for a second, I feel Batista might show up.
Maybe.
He's been teasing another run. He absolutely does.
But you look at it, the past few years, we knew John Cena was going to win.
Right.
We knew Batista was going to win. We knew Roman Reigns was going to win. We knew Triple H was going to win.
And this year, I know that Daniel Bryan's going to win.
But if you look at the competitors for the men, it's Daniel Bryan has a real shot at winning this thing, which is insane.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, Shinsuke Nakamura, all have the equal shot. And now all of a sudden, Dolph Ziggler's getting a lot of steam in the sense of like, this is going to be his return. He might be the Iron Man in this thing.
It was a weird exit, but I wouldn't mind it.
Right.
But I also see him, one of the other thoughts I had, much like Roman Reigns and The Miz, I thought he was going to challenge Bobby Roode.
Right.
For that whole thing that was weird. And
yeah, it's weird. Who knows?
But again, wouldn't mind it.
Right. And so for the women, it's the same, where it's like, Ronda Rousey has a great case to win this Royal Rumble. But so does Asuka, and so does Nia Jax.
Yeah, I mean, if it goes to Raw, it's one of those two.
Right.
And I mean, especially after Monday night with Asuka looking extremely strong.
Right.
And Nia Jax has just been like on the cusp of that big
Right.
push.
Well, I think either way, this is going to be Nia Jax's coming out party. You know, I think
she's going to be the Iron Woman.
She's going to be the Iron Woman in this. She's going to be tossing women left and right. And
when you need that clear the house,
she's
going to be the one.
It's going to be her, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really cool to watch her.
Because it's been one of those things we've been talking about on the show many times. When are they going to do something with Nia Jax? When's Nia Jax going to break out of her shell? When's Nia Jax going to be the monster that we want her to be?
Right.
And I think it has to be this.
And then I don't know what her situation is, but bringing back somebody like a Karma would awesome.
Absolutely.
I don't know which one she was.
She was Karma in this, but especially with the popularity of Glow.
Right, and so it's like
she'd be a shoo-in if they haven't called her. Come on,
yeah, right.
Pick up the phone, pal.
So bring her in, and now you have Nia Jax versus Karma.
That'd be great.
That would be great, and that also will set up a great individual program for the two of them at Mania if you wanted to go that far.
Absolutely,
you know?
Netflix would love it.
Netflix would love it for Glow Season 2.
Season 2. Okay, so I'm on board with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I'm on board with Ronda Rousey too, because like I said, Asuka doesn't need this, and people that are going to complain that Asuka, her losing streak, she's going to have a loss. People don't lose the Royal Rumble. There's just one winner.
I like the fact that we're picking one person that's not medically cleared, one person that's not even working for the company.
Yeah, well,
but you know what? It's fun. That's why we do it. That's why we picked Mojo to win the Battle Royal,
right,
and won.
Right. You know, I think that the money's better spent on Nakamura and Asuka as like actual people if I have to pick somebody that's actively in the company.
Yeah.
But both of the two people we picked, both Daniel Bryan and Ronda Rousey.
And again, it's more fun to be unknowing.
Right.
You know, unpredictability.
Yeah.
Get my words tangled up there.
When wrestling is unpredictable, wrestling is at its best.
Hey, that's a tagline.
It is.
So I think we're both going Ronda Rousey, alternate Asuka.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's get back into the meat of the show.
Right.
There's a 2-hour kickoff show, by the way. This is going to be like a 19-hour extravaganza.
Yeah, it's going to start on Sunday and end right before the Super Bowl.
So let's see. The main show starts at 7 o'clock.
Correct.
The pre-show starts at 5 o'clock, and they haven't even announced a single match for it. We're just going to have Peter Rosenberg and Sam Roberts running through the crowd.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm gonna be on the pre-show.
There you go.
I'm gonna find my way onto the pre-show somehow.
There you go.
Look,
what do we expect? I mean, because they started the cruiserweights, we know we're not going to get anything with the cruiserweight title till next week.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see the induction of Billy Kidman as the. So Billy Kidman.
Because I was wondering who was going to be the GM of the cruiserweights.
Yeah, so Billy Kidman sent out a cryptic tweet being like, my workload's about to increase, #205live. Oh. So it's like, I
He'd
thought.
Be a good one.
Well, I knew he was a road agent, so
he's been working for the company forever.
So I thought that he's the most logical choice. He's a former cruiserweight superstar, so
for cruiserweight champion.
Former cruiserweight champion. So I think having him step into that role to kind of give 205 Live the shot in the arm that it needs.
Now with that, and let's pretty much figure out that the kickoff show is going to be a cruiserweight match.
It should be.
Do we see maybe not on the Royal Rumble because they want to push for 205 Live? Do we finally see a return of Neville?
I would hope so.
Because he was even one of my alternates as a possibility in the Rumble.
Yeah, he might be in the Rumble. He might be in both. Because how many people are going to watch the kickoff show? But I think that
5 p.m., man. Come on.
Yeah, I'm still going to be at the bar.
It's going to end at midnight.
I'm going to be at the bar still.
Right. So we're going with that. A lot of analysis to break down. But you know what? If you want to bypass the whole two-hour kickoff show, watch this show. Go to Nesson.com and watch this show. It's much more fun. Let's get right into the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. Champions the Usos versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. I'm finding it a weird dynamic because the Usos are doing great as heels.
Right.
And Chad Gable is completely unlikable.
Yeah.
So we have like one babyface and 3 heels.
And the weird thing that you have to take into account, are the Usos going to drop this because of whichever Uso, and I don't remember which one.
The DUI?
The DUI.
Possibly, but I mean, they've also been building towards that. I mean, the whole Chad Gable has the Free to Tag Team Championship hashtag on his shirt.
Right.
They kind of won, then it got reversed. I mean,
Yeah.
as story goes, they're playing out a decent story where Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin are going to get a run with the titles.
Right.
And that seems to be the direction they're heading. I don't like it because I'm a huge fan of the Usos.
Yeah.
But I see that happening until the shenanigans are taken care
want
of.
War Machine.
I know you do, and it was one of those things. If we've talked about NXT, I guarantee they're going to show up. They're going to be those guys sitting in the crowd,
Yeah, they're going to be the guy you're going to see them sitting in the crowd being like, oh my God, there's War Machine.
Right.
I would love, and War Machine, by the way, for somebody that might have just stumbled upon this video, War Machine, the tag team, not War Machine, the MMA fighter.
Wow, heat on Peter Rosenberg right there.
Yeah. War Machine, the tag team, Todd Warbeard Hansen and Raymond Rowe, the former New Japan Heavyweight Tag Team Championship, not the MMA fighter that beat his girlfriend within an inch of her life.
No, let's get that straight.
Two
men.
very, very different things. War Machine, the tag team, is awesome. War Machine, the MMA fighter,
not good.
Awesome.
Not so great.
So I would love.
Now we get that cleared up.
Yeah, I felt like I needed to say that.
Okay.
But that being said, I would love War Machine. War Machine needs to get to SmackDown ASAP because they need to fight the Bludgeon Brothers because the Bludgeon Brothers have the gimmick that the War Machine was going to have had they signed this time last year, which was all but a done deal.
And you're saying that as a fact, so you might have some inside knowledge on that one.
I may or may not have information.
Because you've had Warbeard on the show about it.
I may or may not have had that information and access.
So that'd be a great one.
The Bludgeon Brothers that's the gimmick that they were in talk. They've been in talks with WWE for a year and a half.
But I wholeheartedly believe we're going to see them on Takeover.
Yeah.
Saturday night. But I don't see them getting into Rumble. I don't see them getting involved in the main show.
Tag teams and Rumbles are stupid because it's dumb because you ruin the surprise because they can't come out together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna have Bubba Ray come out and then Devon come out next, well the pop has already been the surprise of Bubba Ray coming out.
Unless they're 1 and 2.
Unless they're 1 and 2.
And then they have to fight.
Yeah.
Demolition did that.
Right.
Hardys did that.
Yes.
So it has been done. So they're not completely stupid.
Right.
So what are you thinking about this one?
I think the Usos retain. They're by far the best. They're the best tag team SmackDown has. Keep it on them. I don't think that Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin have clicked in the way that.
I just don't think anybody likes Chad Gable.
I like Chad Gable.
I don't at all.
It's the character that he's playing right now. I'm not a big fan of.
I said it last time on the show. What's getting to me is the dude doesn't he spray tans his body and then he has a pale white face.
Right.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's like he's wearing a pale white mask.
Yeah.
And I know I'm talking spray tan or wrestling, but I mean it is. He's spray tanned up to his jawline and then just pale white on his face. It's the weirdest thing.
It is,
and it
very
bugs
weird.
the hell out of me.
Yeah, sure. I also don't
cannot like a man like that.
I don't think Jason Jordan should have split from Chad Gable. I think that's
a whole other.
The Kurt Angle "I'm your son" storyline is dumb.
Yeah.
But
it has gotten Jason Jordan over in a different way.
Right, and he's phenomenal as a wrestler.
Yeah.
So that's the part that's frustrating. Is like I hate Jason Jordan, but you are really, really good at wrestling.
You were all on American Alpha.
I was in on American Alpha because the two of them together worked, and the two of them separate just annoys the hell out of me.
I think that's probably the point, though.
That is probably the point.
That seems to be the point they're going for, so they're doing their job. So you think Usos?
I do.
I think Chad and Benjamin.
Yeah.
I think it's just that's where they're going. That's what they're destined to do. That's the story that they're trying to play out.
It also makes more sense because having the Bludgeon Brothers beat up the face team of Gable and Benjamin is better than the them beating up the
Sure,
Usos.
absolutely. So let's move on to the Raw Tag Team Championship. Seth Rollins and your boy Jason Jordan versus The Bar.
Welcome back, old friend. That is the tweet that Seth Rollins sent out after he was allowed to use the curb stomp again.
I love it.
Seth Rollins lost a huge piece of his personality when they banned that move. Ever since then,
that was like 2 WrestleManias ago.
It was 2 WrestleManias ago. One, welcome back footage from WrestleMania 31
right.
for 2 huge
the actual
highlights.
Finish to the match.
2 huge highlights, right? We can show the finish to his match with Randy Orton, which is the best RKO out of nowhere ever. Better than the shooting star press into the RKO. For those of you who have no idea, look it up. Seth Rollins goes for the curb stomp. Randy Orton basically launches him off of the back of his head into an RKO, and it's amazing.
Need one of those telestrators to kind of draw it out.
I know. We're going to need to get a telestrator. I'll be like John Madden. It'll be great. And then the finish to the WrestleMania match where he won his first WWE Championship with the curb stomp. So welcome back to that. He had been floundering, trying to figure out what new
He was using the pedigree
he
for
was
a year
using
and
the
a half,
pedigree, and
which
he
was
didn't.
weird.
He didn't use it well, and it also doesn't work because Triple H is still semi-active, so it's not like it was. It just didn't work. And then that Rainmaker V-trigger thing that he had, where it was like
it's just a bad name.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what he was calling it, but he didn't execute it well, and it just felt weird. And this feels better. So I think Seth Rollins is going to have a lot of his swagger back. So yeah, let's go The Bar. Let's go The Bar. Let's have Jason Jordan turn on Seth Rollins, set up their WrestleMania nonsense, and let's get on with this.
Again, that seems to be where we're going. Every time there's just a calamity of errors with these two.
Yeah.
They can't get on the same page, obviously. Jason Jordan was a last-minute replacement for Dean Ambrose, who went down injured. But it's like, that has to be where we're going.
Right.
It's going to be. He's going to go through the barbershop window next week.
Yeah,
I completely see it. So we're going with The Bar.
I'm going with The Bar.
I think I agree with you.
They're the best tag team on Raw.
They really are.
So let's get it back on them, and then we'll figure out the rest of it.
All right. The WWE Championship match, AJ Styles in a handicap match versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I am so excited for this because this plays into the Royal Rumble match. It plays into everything that's going on.
And you've been saying all show you have something with Kevin and something with Sami.
I think that this is the only thing we haven't done with the WWE Championship. We have never freebird a singles title.
Except for the women with Lay Cool.
And that is interesting. That is very interesting, and we have enough time to
get it back on AJ.
Because
because we have Fastlane, Breakdown, Roadblock, Over the Edge.
All of them. Seriously, sir, you need to get off the bus. The stop is here.
We have Fastlane, the blue line.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so I think that can add into a great story. If Shinsuke Nakamura was to win, you have to have AJ Styles team up with him to help get the title off of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Now, would that make them co-champion?
I think it's one sort of thing where it's like, look, here's the thing. I'm going to get your back.
Are we just going to hot potato 2 guys holding the belt?
Yeah, we're going to hot potato 2 guys holding the belt. No, but we'll get it on to them. Shinsuke help me. That way you get a one-on-one shot with me as opposed to a 2-on-1 shot against them.
Shinsuke grunts and does a thing, and we're good.
And we're good. Okay. I just want to see what it would look like. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are a part of the best thing on SmackDown.
Kevin Owens has been a part of the best thing on WWE programming for like 2 years now.
Right. So he is a top guy.
Oh, yeah.
Let the top guy go into this WrestleMania as champion. I'm so sad that the original plan was Universal Champion Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. Obviously, we swapped that for Brock and Goldberg.
Happens.
But that's going to be great. Get that title on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn because I want to see what it looks like.
It would definitely be an interesting 2 months before WrestleMania.
Right, because now you have Shane McMahon really trying to get rid of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And that's going to be compelling TV because after this, we're going to have 2 full months of nothing
of the Kevin and Sami show
until WrestleMania. So we have to fill that with something. Right. So even if they don't necessarily walk in champion, but we tell a story leading up to the kickoff to the road to WrestleMania, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I'm on board. I'm absolutely
The way
on
you
board.
lay it out, I was going to go an easy win for AJ Styles, but the way you lay it out, that sounds like a better story to tell. Especially if we have two big fan favorites winning the Royal Rumbles, Ronda Rousey, Daniel Bryan.
Right.
Why not give the heels the title?
Right.
And yeah, that's a great story. Now, saying that puts a wrinkle in my Royal Rumble thing. That takes Kevin and Sami out of the Royal Rumble.
Right.
Does it put AJ in, first of all?
That could be it. AJ Styles could be in the Rumble. I doubt
And does it put Shane McMahon into the Royal Rumble?
I could see that happening.
Okay. All right. And then so him and Daniel
Are gonna
do that.
fighty.
So I think we're in the same boat on where we're going with the WWE Championship. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn walking out of the Rumble, co-champions.
Yeah.
And the big celebration of Kevin and Sami Tuesday night.
Yep.
Love it. Okay. Universal Championship, triple threat, Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, and Kane.
Oh my God, I love Braun Strowman.
I know you do. And it's one of those things. People might complain about Brock Lesnar's, he only works X amount of days,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. But when he comes back, the segments are so fun.
Everything.
Especially lately when he's been working. He's clearly having fun working with Braun Strowman.
Right.
And Braun Strowman is whipping his ass.
Yeah.
And when he pulled the entire set down, I was on the edge of my seat. And it's very rare after 30 some odd years of watching this show where I'm like, wow, like glued to my TV.
This is my favorite thing about Braun Strowman.
He ripped the entire backstage set down.
Is just they have nailed everything with this guy. This guy is Brock Lesnar in 2003.
And the great thing is about it, the way they're doing it, is nobody's really that upset that he hasn't got the championship yet because he hasn't needed it
Well,
yet.
it's like The Undertaker,
Right.
right? The Undertaker never needed the WWF championship because everything he was doing was so special.
Right.
Right? I think that we need to, in a world where the championships are fast and furious in terms of how many you have, he's got to have more than The Undertaker did.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if you're going to get mad at something because a security guard who, if you've been watching this show, should have known, don't put your hand on Braun Strowman and be like, you gotta go.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Of course that guy's gonna get thrown through a wall,
Sure.
and then Braun Strowman's gonna flip a semi-truck, and it's just like, this is what I'm looking for.
Okay,
it's nonsense.
That part of Raw, I was giggling. As a tech guy, I'm sure you were too. How he's running through everything. He's knocking this down, knocking that down. All of a sudden, he gets into the actual television truck, and it's like, paper!
Yeah, right.
It's like, someone before and said, don't touch anything. That truck is worth $20 million.
Yeah, whatever you, look, if we had an extra one, you would have ripped an audio console out of the wall.
You can yell, you can scare people, you can flip any piece of paper you want.
Yeah, right.
But if you touch an electronic, it's coming out of your paycheck.
Yeah, right. You can knock over a chair, but God help you if a monitor goes
If the monitor goes with that chair, you're
Yeah.
done. So this match, it's going to be one of those matches where it's fun.
Yeah.
We know the outcome.
Yeah.
This is the easiest one to predict.
Brock
so
pins
put your
Kane.
bets down now for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Brock pins Kane.
Exactly.
That's why Kane's here.
Exactly.
That is why
he's here.
Yeah.
Now, Kane's also, it's one of those things that get you thinking. Kane's on his last run.
Yeah.
We all know that. And we're all anticipating a Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns WrestleMania.
Right.
Is, almost like the Big Show, is Braun the guy to put away Kane?
I would hope so. I would love for Braun Strowman to kind of put these older monsters away.
It makes complete sense.
It makes complete sense. I think it's going to be great. It's kind of like the inevitability that I feel like having John Cena get retired by Roman Reigns.
Oh, I thought you meant Billy Gunn.
Yeah, you're right. Having Roman Reigns take down John Cena, the passing of the torch from one guy to the next. So
I was excited when you were going to say Billy Gunn. I was like,
know.
oh my God, it was
it was really going to happen. No, but I think Braun Strowman, he needs to. This is the unfortunate thing about the Roman Reigns roadblock, is that
Over the edge.
Braun Strowman should put down Lesnar. Braun Strowman is not going, because he's in this match, will not be in the Royal Rumble. And because he won't be, he won't win it.
Sure.
Because he should be.
Because if he's in it, he's going to win it.
If he's in it, he should win it.
Right.
But why are we going to have him be in this triple threat match at the Royal Rumble,
Right.
only to have a singles match at WrestleMania? It's not going to happen.
Unless it's against Kane.
Right.
It's going to be, that feels like the the story they're going to tell. And because Kane lost, that's going to be his thing. Like, oh, you made me lose my no. You know. And then we're going to work there, and Kane is going to retire and go into politics, and it is what it is.
Right. And then tweet weird things from his like non-Kane Twitter account. Did you see this?
I'm not privy to the non-Kane.
So he put up a.
Is it Isaac Yankem?
No, it's not Isaac.
It's Isaac Yankem. Don't ask him about it.
He posted a picture for March 1st, and it was the Brothers of Destruction, and it was him and the Undertaker.
Sure.
Nobody has any idea what it means, and like March 1st is like a Thursday, so nobody knows what he's doing.
In this day and age, with the XFL returning, anything can happen, pal.
Right.
I am so happy, by the way. I'm upset that happened yesterday, and I'm like, we can't just add it to the show. But I am so happy the XFL is coming back. It's going to be a hoot and a holler.
Sure. The only smart thing that I'm glad that they're going to do is they're waiting 2 years.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's not, and it launches in February.
We're bringing back the XFL, pal, and it's coming back next week. Get ready.
Just to divert onto the XFL really
Sure,
quick.
because we're basically done with that.
Yeah, because, I mean...
We only have one more thing.
Yeah. Having the XFL come back with a 2-year plan is what they didn't do last time.
No.
I think that, there is going to be enough talent in the playing pool of football to even out these 8 teams, so that while it might not be the highest level of football,
it'll be a hell of a lot better than the last one.
It will be more competitive than...
And honestly, I mean, I watched the press conference live, and I enjoyed everything Vince said about it, because he was saying all the right things. The things he was saying about, this might be the last time you see me on camera as far as the XFL is concerned. Good. The fact there'll be, and he was very adamant, 0 crossover with WWE.
Yeah.
He's taking it on a completely different company. It's not associated with WWE. It's not going to be about WWE. Of course, WWE will promote the hell out of it because it's Vince. But there won't be the Jerry Lawler doing commentary over a football game. There won't be the strippers doing the cheerleading. There won't be. It's going to be
that weird
football
backstage segment where he ran into the cheerleader.
Yeah, I mean, Rodney Dangerfield, he's dead, but we won't have anything to do with it. You know what I mean? It won't be a WWE show.
Right. I mean,
it will be a football show for the sake of football.
Right. We all watched the 30 for 30.
Loved it.
And, having them talk about how everything was like, this is man's football. And it's just like, that's not...
Smash Mouth, pal.
Right. I am interested to see what the changes are that they're going to make, because there are things in the NFL that are broken.
Sure.
Right? I think that replay should have a shot clock. I believe it was Felger that was on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I believe he said that there should be a shot clock. 90 seconds for a review.
Sure.
If you can't come up with it in 90 seconds,
move it on.
Then the call stands as is.
He even went Vince even went so far as to say no halftimes.
Right, and
keep the game rolling.
Right, let's just do it.
We're not going to give him a chance to switch the channel.
Right, just keep it rolling, keep it moving.
That also keeps a lot of the shenanigans that even if he might get that inkling, let's do something weird. Nope, we don't have time.
Well, I also think that there's going to be great with branded content. You can throw that on the sideline or advertise in a new way.
Right.
Advertise in a new way. How do you put a McDonald's logo on the 35-yard line?
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's also the fact, there's still, I like the fact, like you said, they're doing it 2 years out.
Right.
And there isn't any, he was very vague with his answers to the questions.
Right.
And no TV connection right now.
Right.
And that was one of the big questions. Are you going to be on regular TV? Is it going to be part of the WWE network? Is it going to have a different streaming service? And he says, we're open to everything.
Yeah.
Which is the right thing to say with a company that you really don't know what's going to happen. You just know in 2 years, we're going to have something.
Right. I would love to see them strike some kind of deal where they're on a Facebook Live.
I think they will, because that was actually one of the reporters from the UK was asking if you're going to have a streaming service, because it's huge, it's getting big over here.
Right. I would love it to be on a Facebook Live. I think that that's kind of the WWE aspect of it is expanding out into Facebook Live with the Mixed Match Challenge.
Right.
So having the XFL live on a Facebook Live or a Facebook Watch might not be the worst thing.
I don't even think people would be against it if it was streaming live on WWE Network.
Well, and that would be the thing is striking.
Because right now their TV shows aren't.
Right, so I also think that that's going to change. WWE and UFC, their television, UFC.
Okay.
Their contracts are the next of the major sports to be up.
Okay.
Right, and the quotes are for the wrestling. Not the UFC.
Yeah.
Calm down. And so, I think that
Just put the gun away, man.
yeah, sorry. But you have, I think, WWE moving to Facebook, having it be on Facebook, having
Just streaming in general.
Raw be on Facebook and the WWE Network is going to be far more lucrative for them than striking another traditional television deal.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I think they're going to rework it in a way where they can do both.
I
don't think they're ever going to go away from television until television's gone away.
Right.
Because it's too much money.
Right.
It's just way too much money. But they're going to work a deal where even if it's not live on WWE Network, it will be the next day. Because right now you got to wait a month.
Right, and that's not
That's
good enough.
almost pointless for people that are watching current content.
Right.
It's like, what am I paying? I can pay next month. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Right.
So that was our little tangent on the XFL. But let's get to the wrestling rant.
Yeah.
Because this was a big week for wrestling. Raw 25 happened live Monday night from Barclays in Brooklyn and the Manhattan Center in New York. And we're going to go over what went right and what went wrong. I know you have some really strong feelings, as do I. I want you to go first and tell me your thoughts. What went right and what went wrong?
So the show started off very well. It started off with Vince McMahon getting a stunner from Stone Cold, and it was excellent. Having that be the opening, that's what we came to see. That's the show we like.
But again, almost too well.
But almost too well because it was all downhill.
Where do you go from there?
The issue, the Raw 25 was plagued with a number of issues because they added a second location for Raw. It was taking place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn and the Manhattan Center in Manhattan.
Let me just say, when they opened the show, and they showed what they had done to the Manhattan Center, and I saw the ICAPRO sign, I popped. I'm like, oh my God, they did it just like it was on the first night in 1993. Fantastic.
And that was
great job.
That was great. But then
they got the font right for Jerry and King, for JR and the King.
Yep. But the unfortunate thing was, after the show started,
then the bell
they didn't come back. They didn't come back to the Barclays Center. I mean, not the Barclays Center, the Manhattan Center for close to an hour.
It was about an hour, yeah.
And the thing that was, I thought it was going to be more of a 50-50 split, more of the nostalgia acts going to the Manhattan Center and more of the Royal Rumble Go Home show on Barclays. And I thought it was going to be a better split than that, and it was not.
It was not.
I think that we talked about this on the New Age Insiders podcast this week, where the issue is that WWE has relied so hard on the nostalgia and bringing back these people that, with the exception of Stone Cold Steve Austin, I see all of these people on a regular basis.
Sure.
So bringing back D-Generation X isn't a great surprise because I see Hunter on a regular basis, and Sean comes back fairly regularly.
You get your weekly tease with Sean, right?
Right. Yeah, I have my weekly tease with Sean. He's
a pal.
He's just a gem. But so having them, and the fact that it's like WWE has changed so much that a 40s or a late 40s, early 50s D-Generation X is not something that I want to see, and they can't do the DX stuff.
Right.
When they were like, we got 2 words for you, and they went for the crotch chop, and they cut to the crowd.
Cameras went all wonky.
So we can't show the crotch chop, so we can't even show the D-Generation X stuff. So what's the point of bringing them back?
It was actually funny because I was listening. I listened to Busted Open on Sirius with Bully Ray, and he was talking about his experience because he was in the back for most of the show, and when he was watching in the TV locker room, the audio they're hearing is actually from the TV truck. So he was watching the Stone Cold Vince segment from that room.
Okay.
And all he could hear was the technical directors going, "Don't shoot his hands, don't shoot his hands," because of course he's doing
gonna flip
this.
him off.
You know what I mean? So and you could tell the cameras are going all over the place.
Right.
And again, like you said, what are you going to do? It's 2018. A lot of stuff doesn't play. It was cringeworthy when they cut to Jerry and the first thing out of his mouth was puppies. It's like, it's 2018, pal. That doesn't work anymore.
Right.
But my thought, and I watched it, I stayed as much off of social media as I could for the show. After the show, I went on and saw all the hell that broke loose.
Yeah.
But I watched it just as someone watching TV.
Right.
And I got to say, overall, I enjoyed it. Overall, as a TV show, I enjoyed it.
Right.
There was a part of me that, as much as I loved the opening segment, when he ended, I was like, they're not going to have Stone Cold say anything? He's not going to even speak?
Right.
He's just going to come out, make a couple of looks, hug Vince, stun Shane again, drink some beers and leave? wow, somebody's not paid by the word.
Right, I know.
So there was that. What I felt overall, some of the negatives that I felt were, yes, they didn't cut to the Manhattan Center enough.
Right.
I felt that, and after the fact, knowing what I know now, knowing that I know that people were spending upwards of $1,200 for a seat to watch 45 minutes of live stuff and then watch a TV screen that they had to crane their neck for, sucks.
Right.
Just in general. But what I feel would have fixed it, and I'm going to kind of armchair book a lot of this stuff.
Right.
What I feel would have fixed it was to last Nitro this. You're running 2 simultaneous live shows, and almost like Red Zone, you're cutting to whatever's hot.
Right.
You know, so something's happening over at the Manhattan Center. It doesn't matter if it's a squash match. Just put something in the ring.
Right.
Put a live feed of the Barclays up on the wall. If somebody wants to watch it, they can watch it. But at least there's something going on. And then when the big segments come, like when the Undertaker comes out, you go to Manhattan Center and you flip it, and then you throw the 205 Live over into Barclays.
Right. Or you know what you do is, because you're trying to sell this app,
at least it would give. That was my other thing.
Is
you stream the secondary feed onto the network.
Right, and it might not play because of, like, well, I guess it really wouldn't have mattered.
It would be whatever wasn't on TV.
Right.
So if you're watching TV and they're at the Barclays with Stone Cold, if you go to the app, if you're on your iPad, you go to the app.
It's the opening in the Manhattan Center.
You're just seeing the Manhattan Center and whatever match is going on, and you see kind of a screen on the, it would work. And it would have appeased the people live. That was the more concern. As far as a lot of the, it was terrible, it was this, I didn't really feel that. What I did feel was people's anger for they didn't get their money's worth.
Right, and so
no question about it. If you're paying, I heard front row seats face value, not second market, face value were like $850 at the Manhattan Center.
Right,
and then we had 1,000 people in there.
Yeah,
that is
I knew
absurd.
I knew somebody that was actually in the Manhattan Center.
Okay,
so he's Nick Jacoby at NickG_25 on Twitter. You can ask him all about it.
Sure.
But yeah, I was talking to him, and there were chants that said we want a refund because there were just huge gaps of time where nothing was going on and they were watching TV, or they would have a cruiserweight match come.
Yeah, they had 2 205 Live matches. They had the Bray Wyatt Matt Hardy match.
Right.
They had the Undertaker thing.
And then
DX at the end, and then the rest of the show.
Right. And so having,
I guess the Miz showed up, like he took a cab over there.
He came over, right.
But I also feel a lot of that was damage control because, again, listening to Bully Ray on Busted Open was very informative as to what was happening at the Barclays. Right. And they were getting word that the crowd at Manhattan Center was getting restless. And I believe The Miz was kind of like, oh, get in the car, get over there right now.
Right.
They saw you win, show up, make them happy for like 10 minutes.
I think that the better way to do this is, because when Monday Night Raw first started, you had the first hour that was Monday Night Raw, and then the second hour was Warzone.
Right.
So what you should have done is you should have gotten Monday Night Raw is from 8 to 10.
Sure.
Right? And you have Monday Night Raw, and this is the go-home Royal Rumble stuff. We do the Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, Kane stuff. We do all the nonsense that we had. And then at 10, we switch over to the Manhattan Center, and we do the last half of all nostalgia old Raw.
Well, and the nostalgia thing in itself, I feel they really, it's tough to say, but they really booked themselves into a corner with this. Because they overbooked the nostalgia acts, and there's not enough time.
Well, there wasn't enough time.
It's hard to say in a 3-hour Raw show that there's not enough time for something where there's so much filler and there's so much overbloating. But in this type of show, there was so many people. That's why you got the Kurt Angle office segment, which was just like, oh, is that how they're going to use everybody? Just going to keep shoving people. Well, get in there, get into the office, get in the office.
Everything was a backstage segment, and that's another issue.
The glorified, Hall of Fame wave thing where, the GMs came out. You got Bischoff coming out and Teddy Long, Big Johnny. They come out.
Hi.
The women.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so up with that. I'm like, that's how they're going to use Trish on the 25th Raw.
Yeah.
You can't just have one, even a backstage interaction, crossing paths with somebody. Hey, you guys got the Rumble this week, blah, 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 blah. Just give them that rub.
Right.
Even having... even if they had something extra with Stone Cold in the back, like they did with Jericho and Elias, which, by the way, the star, the one that looked the best out of this entire Raw 25, Elias.
Oh, yeah.
Looked like $1 million. He had the interaction with Jericho. Nice shirt, by the way, sir. And then both of them, actually. Jericho's Alpha and then the Johnny Cash shirt. He got the Johnny Cash middle finger on TV in 2018. Well done, Elias. Yeah. Then he gets put over by John Cena.
Right.
And looks like $1 million.
It's looking like Elias Sampson is going to be John Cena's WrestleMania opponent.
I'm well with it. I am awesome with it. The fact is, like, And I know you can't have, it's one of those things you can't have the heel show up the baby face, but when John popped his shirt off, I'm like, Elias is a big dude. He's not going to look like a small guy to this.
Right.
You know, so he kept his shirt on, but yeah, he looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I said, Jericho segment, Cena segment, Elias looked great. What they did right was they made their current stars look great, Revival excluded. But they made Oscar look fantastic at the end of that. And that was tough because that was coming right off of the Stone Cold.
Right.
So it's like the match, yeah, the crowd's going downhill at that point. But then at the end, Oscar saved it by tossing everybody out, looking strong for the Rumble, promoting the Rumble all the time, promoting the Rumble.
Yeah.
But then, and of course the ending. The ending was great, but also humorous at the same time because they supposedly had all these people around the ring to protect and separate.
Yeah, they did do that.
And the second Brock's music hits, everybody bailed ass out of the ring.
Yeah.
And by the way, what was Brother Love going to do?
I know.
I love Bruce Pritchard, but what was Brother Love going to do
Right.
between those three monsters? Come on. So they did a lot of things right, in my opinion, especially from a TV viewer's standpoint.
Right.
Because I wasn't there. I didn't spend $1,200 to be there. I didn't spend $1,200 to watch 45 minutes of a live show and then watch TV, which would upset me.
Yeah.
But now we got to get to something that I believe has been polarizing throughout the WWE universe, and that's the Undertaker's speech.
Yeah.
And let me just get this off my chest. Part of the problem with the Undertaker currently is the fans.
Yeah.
I am not in the boat of one